Hello, this is Chris Garcia, Marine veteran, February 18th, 2015, year of our Lord Jesus Christ. As you know, I do a lot of videos, uploading different ones with Theodore Shubot, Waleed Shubot, myself concerning the scriptures, which I'm going to continue to do and not stop doing. You also know, if you watch my videos, that I'm a stay-home dad, so I don't have income to be able to help my family, and it's something that's always weighed on me. And recently, I've been doing research for my son Elijah. Come here. My son Elijah, he has special needs. He has a chromosome disorder, and he eats through a G tube. And recently, he had gotten really thin. He was getting thin. He wasn't sick. He was just getting really thin. I didn't know what to do. So I started doing some research, and it was really frustrating because I really thought I was going to lose him. I was praying about it. I asked God to help me in the research to be able to find something that'll help him. Doctors had basically gotten us to the point where we were at, where he was getting really skinny. And nutrition-wise, there was nothing really that they had given us that was going to help him. So again, I prayed about this, and I did the research, and I came across this doctor, a naturopathic doctor, and Dr. Glidden, and I started watching his stuff and learning, that our bodies are nutrient deficient. Stuff I kind of heard before, but this doctor really laid it out there in a way I could understand. So I started ordering supplements and vitamins and minerals for him, and it's weird how God answers prayers, because like I said, I'm a stay-home dad, and I've been frustrated not being able to provide for my family. That's one thing that's always weighed on me, and it's like he answered both prayers. I decided to take up an opportunity in a business where I could provide health for others, helping the bodies recover themselves. If it wasn't for the situation with my son, I would never have thought of doing a business where it's selling vitamins and stuff like that. This is more than that. It's different. I thought I was going to lose my son, and since I've been giving him the vitamins, he's putting on weight. He's way more active. He doesn't talk. That's something that I'm hopefully in time God will allow that to happen. Elijah, come here, come here. And he's just. I'll take care of that right now. Come on, come here. Say hi to the people. And he's just, he's come a long way. And this is him. He was skin and bone. You were able, yeah, I know. You were able to see all his ribs really bad. His chest, I was able to see every muscle and tendon within his chest. He's still skinny, but he's nowhere near what he was. I mean, he's starting to fill out. This is his tube that he eats from right here. And yeah, he's really starting to fill out. He's really come a long way, and God has really answered our prayers. But it's been a real blessing, because I was really scared. I'm with this little guy all the time, so thought of losing him was just it was kind of overwhelming for me. I was doing this. That's partly why you haven't seen a lot of videos. It's just I was really worried about him. But again, I decided to go forward with this, trying these supplements and stuff. And before I didn't even think about doing any business, because it is a multi-level business opportunity that they offer. And I wasn't even thinking about any of that. I was thinking about getting him healthy, and that was all I was concerned with. And once I saw how the change in him from these minerals and stuff, it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. I got pumped up. I was so excited. Like, this is amazing. This is a miracle, And and thinking, you know, all this stuff I talk about the Bible, you know, God made man from dirt. It's only logical that the things in the dirt would help revive the body. And what do we find? All these nutrients, you know, all these minerals and stuff that come from the earth that God brought man out of. So it only makes sense that if you replenish the body with these things, that the body can recover from things. And although he has a chromosome disorder, and that can never be, only God himself can heal that, he still can get the nutrients he needs to function better on a day-to-day basis. So that's what I started doing. And after I saw him recover and stuff, this is all within the last month or two that all this went on. And as I saw him recover, I said, you know, I started looking up other stuff like high blood pressure. You know, myself, I'm overweight, so I'm like, what can I do about that? So I started taking some stuff. I've had more energy than I've had in years. And I'm just like, I'm going to go forward with this. So that's why I'm doing this video, to let you guys know this is something I'm doing. It's going to help. It's going to help the health of my family members. It's gonna, and I'll be able to provide a little for my family. So I've never wanted to monetize my YouTube account, because I don't want to make money off of getting information about end times, about the Bible out to people. I don't want to make no money from that, so I'm still not going to monetize my YouTube account. But if you're, you know, if you're interested in getting vitamins, and this is not like vitamins you get on Walmart. This is the real deal. So if you're interested in that, you can leave me a message, or you can contact me on my Facebook. Marine Veteran, or Christopher Garcia, or Chris Garcia. I have so many Facebook accounts because Facebook keeps making me change my names. But I think you can still look me up on a Marine Veteran. I still have the same profile picture with when I was in the Marine Corps and my little brother standing next to me. I'm in my uniform. You can contact me there, and we could work together. Or if you just want to know more about supplements and whatnot, what could help you if you're dealing with blood pressure stuff, cancer, you name it. The majority of well, all chronic illnesses can you can be giving your body the nutrients it needs for the body to fight everything off. So attached to this, after this, you'll see one video of Dr. Glidden himself giving you this information, and you'll see that this is not like just trying to sell vitamins. These guys are the real deal. They have the research to back everything up that they've done. There's Dr. Glidden, and all this was started by Dr. Wallach, who has a book in the Smithsonian Institute. You're talking years and years of experience and medical experience that these guys have done and researched, and now are bringing to people. And after the first video, then there's going to be a clip from his radio show where it's audio, and he's giving more information, both concerning cancer. And to me, that's a big deal. I do know people who've suffered from cancer. I know someone who's still battling, and I'm trying to work with her and try to help her out as well. I don't know. I just feel like this has been a blessing for me in disguise, and if you know, if I could share that with others, then I will do that. My main concern is not to get rich and make a bunch of money. My main thing is to be able to help people who are suffering. You know, same thing like I do with the persecuted Christians. I try to give money. I try to do whatever I can to try to help. RescueChristians.org. I think it's a great organization. I'll do the same here, trying to help people with their health, so they're not getting ripped off by their doctors, by having to do ridiculous therapies and or medical treatments and surgeries that are costing them a fortune, and then eventually killing them. But yeah. Let me know, let me know what your thoughts are, and if this is something you guys are, any of you are dealing with any kind of chronic illness, arthritis, blood pressure, cholesterol, cancer, any of those things, we can help you out. And I have a great team of people that are helping me with this. When they heard about my situation, they helped me with my son, let me know what I could give him and whatnot. And look, he's doing, but he has a little dance. I don't know if he'll do it right now. Want to do a little dance? Want to do it? Let's see if he'll do it right now. Come on. Show the people. Hands up. That's his little dance that he does. And he wasn't doing it for a while when he was all thin, but he's doing it now. But that's it. So go ahead and watch these next two. And again, if you guys are interested, contact me either here, leave a message, or contact me through Facebook. And we'll take it from there. Alright, God bless you guys.
Doctor, can we talk about cancer a little bit? Various types out there. What are some of the things that you've seen in terms of your patients, and what some of the things that you've been able to do?
A better thing to talk about in relationship to, well, I will talk about that, right? A better thing to talk about, however, is the relationship between profits and cancer in the United States. There was a study that was published, I believe it was in 1994. It was a 12-year program, 12-year study. They looked at adults who had developed cancer as an adult, not childhood cancer, but adult cancer, right? And this is the main types of cancer that we get here in the United States. They did a meta-analysis of these people all around the world who developed cancer as adults for 12 years and were treated with chemo. And they looked at the results. And they published the results in the Journal of Clinical Oncology. And the results? 97% of the time, chemotherapy does not work. 97% of the time, it doesn't work. So why is it still used? It's one reason, and one reason only: money. If you go to a medical doctor, an MD, with a sinus infection, and that doctor prescribes an antibiotic, he gets no financial kickback. Now, if he prescribes 5,000, of that antibiotic in 1 month, the drug company that makes it might send him to Cancun for a conference, right? Mm-hmm. But he gets no direct remuneration. It's not with chemotherapeutic drugs. It's different. Chemotherapeutic drugs are the only classification of drugs that the prescribing doctor gets a direct cut of. So if your doctor prescribes chemotherapy for you, here's how it goes, more or less. The doctor buys it from the pharmaceutical company for $5,000, sells it to the patient for $12,000, insurance pays $9,000, and the doctor pockets the $4,000 difference. And there ought to be a law. The only reason chemotherapy is used is because doctors make money from it. Period. It doesn't work 97% of the time. If Ford Motor Company made an automobile that exploded 97% of the time, would they still be in business? No. This is the tip of the iceberg of the control that the pharmaceutical industry has on us. Most people have no idea of this at all. Now, I wrote a book. It's called The MD Emperor Has No Clothes, right? In my book, I have a bulleted list of 10 questions that every cancer patient should ask their doctor. 10 questions. I've had patients kicked out, literally, kicked out of the oncologist's office because the doctor was PO'd that the patient was asking him these questions. And these are just common sense questions. Cancer treatment in the United States, we have lost the war on cancer. We have lost the war on cancer. Why? Because cancer is not a reductionistic phenomenon. Cancer is a holistic phenomenon. And when you try to bring a reductionistic methodology like drugs and surgery to bear on a holistic phenomenon, you will completely miss the boat each and every time. You cannot do it. Medical doctors are like colorblind art critics. They can see that that's a boat. They can see the black and white outline, but they're completely blind to all of the colors and textures that make up the substance of the thing. It's no difference with cancer. The reason that people get cancer in the United States and the reason that we have completely lousy outcomes is because medical doctors are driving the research bus. When women get together and do a 5K run for breast cancer, all of that money, do you think any of that money goes to nutritional research? Do you think any of that money goes to homeopathic research or acupuncture or traditional Chinese medicine or naturopathic research? No. All of it goes to drugs and surgery, which do not work. Now, why aren't those women running for selenium? If every girl in this country took 200 micrograms of selenium, in one generation we'd eliminate breast cancer by 82%. That's a big number. Why aren't we doing that? Because medicine in the United States is a for-profit industry, and most people are completely unaware of this, and most people bow down to the altar of MD-directed high-tech medicine at their own demise.
Feeling down in the dumps? Tired of your health holding you back? Look no further than Fire Your MD Now with Dr. Glidden, the radio show that strives to get you in optimal health. Look out, Big Pharma. Someone is looking for the knockout punch. Here's Dr. Glidden.
Welcome aboard, everybody. The second day of May 2013. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath, your steadfast advocate for health, reminding you that only you can prevent MD-directed allopathic reductionism. Our maxim, fire your MD now. Fire your MD as soon as is humanly possible and get everyone in your life to do the same, because MD-directed medical therapeutics for the treatment of chronic disease do not work. This is why we have a healthcare crisis in North America. This is why the economy is tanking. The single biggest stress to the United States economy is the cost of health care. It's the same in Canada, and let me give you an example. Like the fella said, you can't fix stupid. I just pulled this off of CNN. The title is Tough Disease versus Tough Woman. Stage 4 cancer, 45 rounds of chemo doesn't slow down Gloria. Quote, I'm reading directly from the article here. It seems like the opposite of what you'd expect, but my cancer diagnosis, a staggering stage 4 colon cancer diagnosis delivered to me at the age of 28, gave me a new lease on life. Imagine that. It has changed me, I bet it has, and enriched my life in ways that I could never have imagined. Even in the moment I learned of my diagnosis and the grim prognosis that followed, I wasn't afraid, I wasn't sad, I didn't feel sorry for myself, and I wasn't angry. Well, you're just not paying attention. I was ready. I was ready to fight this disease head on and show myself and everyone else what I was made of. I believed that my will to survive, to thrive, to love and laugh and enjoy my life would carry me through any physical challenge, and it has. 46 rounds of chemo and counting. 3 surgeries, 10 rounds of radiation, and here I am. I am still fighting, and I will continue to fight until the cancer gives up, because there's no way I will give up. Throughout my time battling cancer, I've learned much about taking care of my body, mind, and spirit. Well, your spirit doesn't need to be taken care of. Your mind can't be taken care of, but your body can be taken care of. If you're going to the MDs, the people who, after 45 rounds of chemo, 10 rounds of radiation, you still have cancer, it's unbelievable. My best friend in the cancer world, a fellow warrior, and a phenomenal woman named Annette, passed away at the end of last year. Losing her has been one of the most difficult things I've ever had to endure, but her fighting spirit and my desire to honor her have helped fuel the fire in my belly, no pun intended. It has helped me push forward with my mission for the cure. You've got to be kidding me. Listen, I am all about supporting and promoting people's positive attitudes. It's a great thing. To have a fighting attitude towards life is a great thing, rather than just curling up and dying, right? It's a great thing. But the fact of the matter is, the simple fact that everybody overlooks, because everybody has drunk deeply for the last 100 years every day from the cup of the myth of the MD, especially when it comes to chemotherapy. Everybody thinks that the MDs can cure cancer, even though after $600 billion of money, $600 billion of research money, we're no closer to a cure for cancer than we were 80 years ago. Now, if you think breast cancer, we've won the fight on breast cancer, then I'm going to argue with you, because you know how they cure breast cancer, they cut the breast off. Well, I guess you could say you could cure arthritis by cutting off the knees. You could cure arthritis by cutting off the shoulders or the elbows or the arms or the legs. You could cure heartburn by cutting out the stomach. But this isn't actually a cure, is it? No, it's kind of draconian, it's kind of barbaric, it's extremely old-fashioned, but it is the norm for treatment now. $600 billion of cancer research, and we're no closer to curing cancer than we were before, and people put up with incompetence. People put up with this because most people are intimidated by intellectual thought. Most people believe that the MD is the king. And they'll walk into a multi-million-dollar high-tech cancer treatment facility, and people feel immediately overwhelmed and immediately insecure intellectually. For goodness sake, an oncologist with a white coat, a stethoscope around his neck, followed by a cadre of nurses and underlings, could tell a cancer patient that what they needed to do was jump off of the roof of the hospital, and they would do it. You don't believe me? Well, chemotherapy doesn't work. In an article published in 1997 in the Journal of Clinical Oncology, 1997, the Journal of Clinical Oncology, they did a 12-year study compiling data from all over the world, datum from all over the world. No, data is the plural. Data from all over the world. I get those two mixed up. Data from all over the world, looking at adults who had developed cancer and were treated with chemotherapy, and the startling results published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology: 97% of the time chemotherapy doesn't work. 97% of the time chemotherapy doesn't work. Well, why on earth is it still used? Because when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, number one. Number two, medicine progresses one funeral at a time. Medical doctors are only going to prescribe what they're taught. There's no room for outside-of-the-box alternative, quote-unquote, thinking. By the way, it's illegal. So, you know, if all you have is an axe to throw at the target, you're going to throw an axe at the target, because 1/100th of 1% of a time, you're going to do something good. And this is what passes for the most excellent cancer care in the United States. It is a ship of fools led by fools. Medical doctors are the wrong dog for this hunt. Why is this? Because MDs are not trained in medicine. Nobody is. MDs are trained in allopathic reductionistic medicine. And allopathic reductionistic medicine is the wrong philosophy of treatment to bring to bear on cancer. MDs are clueless when it comes to the cause of cancer, and as is evidenced by their unbelievable treatment failures, they are the wrong person to go to for treatment. I mean, you know, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, flies like a duck, smells like a duck, it's probably a duck. MD-directed treatments for cancer don't work. They do not work. And we have been bullied and brainwashed by the pharmaceutical industry and the MDs to believe that if nobody can figure out how to fix, if anybody can figure out how to fix cancer, it's got to be the MDs, because they are the owners of science, and it's not. It's not true. I mean, how many deaths is it going to take? How many more people like this poor young woman being hoodwinked by the pharmaceutical industry, and, oh, we got to raise more money for the cure for cancer. That's what we need. We need $100 million more research. We're so close to the cure. You're not even in the same country as the cure, for goodness sake. You don't even know how to cure heartburn, and you're going to tell me you can cure cancer? You've got to be kidding me. How much of a fool do you take me for? Well, absolutely quite a bit of a big fool, because chemotherapy is going stronger than ever. Cancer treatment centers are popping up all over the place because it is a gigantic moneymaker. You've got to be kidding me. This woman, 40 rounds of chemotherapy, you know how much that costs? about 10 grand each. That's 400,000. She's in it for 400,000. She's had 10 radiation therapies, probably 5,000 each. That's 50,000. We're up around $500,000, and she still has cancer. $500,000, and she still has colon cancer. Now, number one, who has $500,000 to spend? Nobody. You know how much money she's going to be in debt? Oh, maybe she had really great medical insurance. Well, maybe she did. I bet you her house is mortgaged. I bet you she's running for the cure. For goodness sake, talk about throwing good money after bad. She has been hoodwinked, and where else can you, what other business can you be involved with where you can consistently fail? And not only do you fail, but you muck it up while you're in the process. So not only do your therapies not cure the cancer, but they create horrendous side effects to boot. What other industry could you get away with that? So you bring your car in for a tune-up because it's running a little sluggish. It doesn't shift from second gear into third gear the way that it should. All right, so you bring your car to the mechanic, and you give the mechanic $1,000 to fix it, and then you take it home, and it hasn't been fixed. 2 weeks after you get it, the same problem comes back. But into the bargain, now the transmission is screwed up because what the mechanic did to help shift it from into second gear messed up another part of the transmission. Okay, so you're going to bring it back and give them another $1,000. 2 weeks later, the same thing happens. But now there's a problem with the brakes because the stuff that they did to the transmission to fix the transmission problem had a negative effect on the brakes. Okay, so now you're going to bring it back and you're going to give them another $1,000. They're going to try to fix the problem, and 2 weeks later you bring it back. It doesn't work. The same problem is back, but now you have a problem with the electrical system, the computer. Oh, that's going to take $5,000 to fix. You would not do that. You would not go back to that mechanic. You would not do that because you have common sense, but you go back to the oncologist all of the time. Not only do you go back, but you enroll your friends and family and church members into supporting your run for the cure. I mean, what kind of a ship of fools is this? I feel like I'm in a Fellini movie. I feel like I'm down the looking glass, through the looking glass, down the rabbit hole. I'm in an upside-down, backwards world where disease management is a cure, expensive, dangerous, side effect-ridden. Cancer treatment is the norm. Oh, let's run for the cure, folks. Let's just get one more chemotherapy formula under our belt. I'm sure that that's the way to go. Well, guess what? It's not. If you want to give money to allopathically trained MDs practicing reductionistic medicine to come up with a cure for cancer, I mean, that's like giving a communist money to generate a good voting machine. Come up with a good voting machine. Yeah, let's give that to the communist. Yeah, I don't think so. But you don't know what you don't know. And we have been so mesmerized by 100 years of pharmaceutical profiteering propaganda to believe that MDs own medicine. They are the exclusive emperor of that domain, and everybody else is substandard back-of-the-bus quacks. Even though their therapeutics kill us, even though their therapeutics harm us, even though their therapeutics fail to fix us, we go back to the same well, and it's time we collectively snapped out of it. For goodness sake, every time you see one of those pink ribbons for breast cancer research, I want you to think about the simple fact of the matter that 200 micrograms of selenium, which is a mineral cheaper than dirt, reduces the occurrence of breast cancer by 82%, and how about it, the occurrence of colon cancer by 65%. Why aren't we giving money to the doctors practicing medical nutrition to come up with a cure for cancer? Because it's not about the cure, it's all about the money. Snap out of it. Your life is at risk.
You're feeling down in the dumps, tired of your